Good evening, all beautiful children of Jesus Christ. I hope that you're having a wonderful day today. It's hot in England. Today's story is dedicated to my adult son because he always had a fondness for big cats. And so for this tonight's story, I have called this one. The title is called Phenoix the Panther and Friends Search for the Golden City. And now I'm going to read what I've written here in my story. There was a scent of sweet freshness in the air after the great thunderstorm hit the Indian jungle. Tamba the lion cub, Phenoix the panther cub, and Lippo the lion cub came and had a drink at the river that got filled up by the rain. All three little boy cubs loved to explore, and each had a thirst for adventure. Phenoix looked across to Lippo and Tamba, saying, "I heard that there is a city made up of golden lights, far beyond in the valleys below." But Lippo replied, "Yes, but the golden city only appears during the night, when the diamonds in the sky appears." Tamba replied, "Let's take a look at night, up on the hillside." But Phenoix replied, "I am not sure about that. My mum told me that I'm not to go beyond out of her sight, only to come here and drink water." Tamba replied, persuaded, "Oh, come on, where is your sense of adventure? Our mums will never know. We will go and explore the city of golden lights in the night and be back before sunrise." Lippo and Phenoix looked at each other, both saying together, "We must be crazy. But we will not let you go alone. After all, we are best friends together." They chased butterflies, ran in the overgrown grass, rolled down the tiny hills, played fight, splashed in the puddles, and jumped in the river. However, their joyful play was disturbed as they saw a group of humans chained up to the tree, shouting at the top of their heads against some ugly-looking machine that looked angry. A man jumped out of his angry-looking machine and started yelling at the group of people to move. Then a little girl who was crying her eyes out was begging her dad to stop. The little girl spotted Tamba, Phenoix, and Lippo. Their eyes met and locked together, and she gave out a half smile from beneath her tears, saying, "Quick, get out of here, don't let my dad see you." So they ran out, off in fear. Her dad called her back, but the girl had gone. The little girl gave her dad a dirty look, saying, "Mum would have never agreed to this. She loved animals and nature." But the dad snapped, "Well, she's no longer alive anymore." The little girl ran away crying. "Come back!" her dad shouted. She hid under the roots of a very old and large thick trunk tree. Her dad looked everywhere for her, but she was nowhere to be seen. Her dad called a search party, but no one found her. Night had fallen and there was still no sign of her. Tamba, Phenoix, and Lippo met up as planned, and Tamba suggested, "Come, let's go find this little girl." But Lippo, who was cautious, replied, "Don't forget this girl cub is a human, and we can't always trust them." But Phenoix replied, "We can't leave this human cub here alone. We must find and protect her." With that, they all agreed to look for her. They found her crying under the tree branches. She smiled and spoke softly to the little cubs. "Hi, my name is Heidi. You are all so very sweet and adorable. I will do all I can to save you and your home." The boy cubs did not understand what Heidi was saying, but they liked her and tugged on her t-shirt, beckoning her to follow them. So she did, and they all stood looking across to the beautiful golden glittery lights below as the night had came in. Then from out of nowhere a beautiful angel dressed in pale blue appeared before them. Heidi and the three cubs were scared at first, but she spoke softly to Heidi, taking out a large shell from her pocket, and the sparkling golden dust said, "I have watched you and seen how much you love the animals. I want you to blow into the shell. That will give you this permanent gift to talk to the animals. I want you to blow into the shell." Heidi took the shell and blew into it, smiling. The beautiful angel then sprinkled the golden dust over her head, which gave her the ability to understand every animal language. Heidi span around laughing. She hadn't felt so good in a very long time, so happy and free. A rainbow formed, shining out every colour of the rainbow. Tamba, Phenoix, and Lippo gazed upon her in awe. No longer feeling afraid, Heidi was just about to thank the angel that takes care of the animals. But before she could, the angel had disappeared. "That was incredible," said Phenoix. Heidi replied, "It sure was, and now I can talk to you three and every other animal." Phenoix said, "I like you, Heidi. You are a nice person. But our mums told us to be careful of humans." Heidi replied, "And I think you cubs are adorable too and cute. But not every human is bad. The humans that were tied to a tree were trying to save you all and your homes. I deeply care for you animals. I just wish my dad did." Phoenix brushed up against her, gently saying, "I know, Heidi." Heidi replied, "Anyway, come on, let's go into the city. I want to show you what it's like." Phoenix replied. "To the land of golden lights?" Heidi replied. "Not exactly Golden City, but I will show you around anyway." With that, Heidi led the way with Phoenix, Tamba, and Lippo following on behind. Heidi took out her big torch to lead the path. The four of them together tumbled down the big slope together. Once they got to the bottom, Phoenix, Tamba, and Lippo looked at each other confused. Tamba asked, "Heidi, where is the Golden City?" "Made of pure gold and shining lights." Heidi laughed. "Our city is not made from gold, silly. It's the lights from the distance that make it look as if the city is filled with gold." Phoenix replied, "That is so disappointing." Lippo pouted. "Why did you bother bring us here if there is no golden buildings?" But Heidi smiled and said, "Well, there might not be a golden city, but there sure is a lot of fun." The cubs looked at each other and Phoenix said, "Heidi is right. Let's go and explore. But before we do, we must get settled down for the night." So that night, Heidi, Tamba, Phoenix, and Lippo managed to find shelter in an abandoned shed. in which they found blankets. The next morning, Heidi took the cubs to the park, where she swung them high on the swings, slid down the slide, went on the seesaw, and chased the ducks in the pond, and had so much fun. Then they ate some hot dogs. After that, they went and rolled about in the sandpit. However, in the meantime, Tamba, Phenoix, and Lippo's mothers noticed that their baby boys were missing, and were missing. Where could they be? Diana the hawk, who has watched everything from above, told them where to find them. The mother panther, tiger, and lioness went into the city below. Meanwhile, Heidi's dad was still looking for her too. The big cat's mother was causing much panic to all the people in the town as they chased down the hill to try and find their sons. People were just running and screaming and fainting in fear at the sight of it, of the big mum cats, thinking that they were going to be attacked. The trio walked out into the middle of the road, which caused a traffic jam, and drivers too beeped on their car horns loudly. Heidi's dad, who was driving, too looked for his daughter, who was among them. He got angry and followed the big mum cats, who had picked up Tamba, Phenoix, and Lippo's scent, and was following after them. Heidi's dad called for backup, and his backup team came with guns and traps and cages. The big cat mums got there first and told Phenoix, Tamba, and Lippo to come home immediately. Heidi's dad, with his backup team, arrived shortly after. Heidi's dad was both crossed and relieved, crying, "Aren't I sure glad to have found you? I had been very sick about you. How could you just run away like that?" Heidi replied, "No, Dad, how could you treat animals and the environment so bad? Please don't trap these beautiful animals and take them to the zoo, because they are my friends." But her dad snapped, "Don't talk foolishly, child. They are dangerous animals. We need to lock them up so they are no longer a danger to human beings." Heidi gave her dad a dirty look as his backup team rounded up together Phenoix, Tamba, Lippo, and their mums, put them in cages, and send them off to the zoo. Heidi was screaming as floods of tears streamed down on her face, yelling, "Please, Daddy, no. I love them so much." But her dad snapped, "Stop being so sensitive and sentimental, child. They are just animals, but we are humans." Heidi cried, "But they have feelings too. They can talk just like us, but in their own language. And now that the angel gave me a special gift, I can talk to the animals." But her dad snapped, "Stop living in fantasy world. There are no angels." Heidi cried, "But if there are no angels, that means you are also saying that there is no God or heaven." Her dad replied, "That is right. There is no God or heaven." Heidi yelled at her dad, crying, "Mum believed in God, and now you are saying there's no heaven. So what you are saying is that we won't see Mum again." Heidi's dad just got angry and shoved poor Heidi into his car, and then drove up to his tractor. A huge thunder and lightning storm broke out as he shoved Heidi into the tractor and got in himself, moaning, "Right, you suggested that there is a God. Well, where was he when your mum died? And answer me this, how can you love panthers, lions, tigers, and any other big cat when it was a group of panthers who savaged your mum to death?" Heidi cried, "But Dad, God does not make any human or animal do anything. Everyone and everything has been given free will." "Then he should have intervened," he snapped. "But Daddy, we will see Mummy in heaven." "Stop it," shouted her dad. All of a sudden, a huge flash of lightning hit the tree. It smacked against the tractor, causing it to explode in the fire. The father, big cats of Phenoix, Tamba and Lippo looked on as the tractor fell into the flames. An angel appeared before them, beckoning them to help Heidi and her dad escape. Risking their lives, they ran over to the burning vehicle. Both Heidi and her dad were trapped and knocked unconscious. The three big cats set them free and took Heidi and her dad safely away. From the burning vehicle, with a loud roar, the three of them could be heard as if they were praising the ultimate creator. The father panther, lion, and tiger attracted the angel's attention. Again, she sprinkled rainbow dust over them, and they woke up feeling so alert and well. Heidi and her dad realised that the big cat saved their lives, and then Heidi's dad wept bitterly, saying, "God, please forgive me and my sweet little daughter. May she forgive me too. I did not mean to be so cruel and mean. When my wife was attacked by the panthers, I was set out to destroy all the big cats and their homes, but now I see not all animals are bad. I will give up my business of destroying the animals and the animals' habitat, and will no longer hurt the world and everything in it anymore, but rather preserve it. I am now going to work as a conservationist." Heidi and her dad hugged each other, crying, and went out and let out all the animals they had trapped, including Phenoix, Tamba, Lippo, and their mums. They found out that the panthers who killed Heidi's mums were rogue panthers, and were told by the other animals to run away and never come back to the city again. So they set off and were never seen again. A year later, Heidi and her dad were living by faith again. He found himself a lovely new wife and got married again, and she was also a widow who had a son. The four of them became a happy, faith-filled family, and as far as the animals were concerned, Phenoix, Tamba, and Lippo were so very happy because Heidi's dad, along with his group of conservationists that he employed, planted trees again, and in addition had put up down paths made from beautiful gemstones with all the colours of the rainbow, and they were really beautiful, and put up some really beautiful golden climbing areas made from pure gold for the big cats to climb on. You wonder how Heidi's dad knew that Phenoix, Tamba, and Lippo were searching for a golden city? Well, because he too was given the gift from the angels to talk to the animals. Phenoix, Tamba, and Lippo climbed happily up the golden climbing areas, showing off his beautiful black hair. And all the creatures of the jungle and the people in the city lived peacefully side by side. The city shone like a golden city that Phenoix always longed for. The jungle and the city shone like a golden city that Phenoix always longed for. And here are my thoughts. My thoughts are, we long for a city made from gold, which is heaven. But we don't long for it because we want the gold, but because we want to be with the greatest treasure of all, the greatest treasure of the universe, Jesus Christ, who loves us all so very much. And also, angels are also sent from God to help protect and guide us, just like the beautiful angel did in the story when she was sent, Phenoix and Lippo and Tampa's dad to save Heidi and her dad, and gave Heidi and her dad the ability to talk to animals. So he guided them there too. Or she guided them because the angel was a female. And this is the Bible verse I chose, Psalms 34:7, which says, "The angel of the Lord encamps those who fear him, and he delivers them." Well, I hope you all been blessed by this story, and God bless you all. Good night. Love you all. Bye.